Okay, the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you're not missing any terms. Okay, both the polynomials should be in standard form and shouldn't be missing any terms. When I'm looking at this, I see x to the third, and then it skips an x squared, and then it goes to x and then a constant. Okay, we have to have an x squared in there when we're dividing, for division purposes. And so let's rewrite it: x to the third plus 0x squared minus 14x plus 8. Now, I didn't say this yet, but what we're going to do is we're going to do synthetic division. And this term right here is not missing any terms either, this polynomial. Okay, so we're going to use synthetic division. In order to use synthetic division, you have to put an x-intercept right here. Now, x-intercepts have different names. There's x-intercept, there's roots, there's zeros, there's solutions. You can call it all of those. Okay? I like saying x-intercepts because I like having a picture in my head. And when I say x-intercepts, I know what an x-intercept looks like. If I look at a line right here, that right there is the x-intercept because that's where it crosses the x-axis. Okay? So, if this is one of the factors, what would the x-intercept be? If this is one of the factors, what would the x-intercept be? It'd be negative 4. So, we have negative 4 right there. And then we have to write all the coefficients from this. The coefficients are 1, 0, negative 14, and 8. Coefficients are the numbers in front of the variables, except for this one right here. That's the constant. That's, just write that one. Okay, and then draw another line, to help us do our work. And the first thing you do is you bring down the 1. You always bring down the first number, so I put that 1 right there. And then I take this number and I multiply it to that number, and I get negative 4, and I put it right there. Then I add these two. You always add them. And of course, if they're different signs, you'll have to subtract. Alright, so we have negative 4 right here, because 0 plus negative 4 is negative 4. And then I'm going to take the negative 4, multiply it times the negative 4. Negative 4 and negative 4 is 16. And then I add the negative 14 to the 16. Now, because they're different signs, yeah, you'll really subtract. You get 2 positive. Positive 2. And then we go 2 times negative 4, which will give me negative 8. And I get 0 at the end. I always like putting this other box right there at the end. You start with a half box at the beginning, then finish with a half box, because I need to remember that that's the remainder. The remainder is always the last number. Now, if the remainder is 0, that's cool, because that means this is a factor of that. If it's not a 0, that means it's not a factor. And there's a different way to write your answer. So this divided by this is going to be this, but with the x values. Now, to write the x values, you always start with the first number. This is your constant. Or technically, it's the last number. That's your constant. It's because it's a positive 2, I'm going to put plus. And this right here, the next one, that's going to be your x term. And then this, because it's a negative, the negative sign can also be a minus, so I'm just going to leave it like that. This one's going to be your x squared. So this is no variable, x, and then x squared. And it always follows that pattern. So if I had one more number right here, let's say I had a 5 right there, then you would say plus x to the third. So I have another x to the third. So x to the third, x squared, x. You see how you see the pattern right there? Yeah, yeah, no, yes. Okay, but this is our answer right here. It is x squared minus 4x plus 2. That is your answer. And the reason why that's your answer is because you could take x plus 4 right there. You could take that guy, multiply him to x squared minus 4x plus 2, and then you would get this for your answer. That's how we know that's our answer. Alright, that's how you do synthetic division.